let's go ahead and jump right into it. It is May 1st, and as we do every day, we want to jump onto the monthly time frame. And we can see the close of last month. You can see the price trading 50.53, a little bit lower than the close of the month, 50.67. But so far, really, the monthly kind of remains in balance. We did get a close lower than the previous month's low, which was 50.63. Oh, so actually we finished inside. What was this low here? 50.63. Yes, we finished just inside 50.67. So not really the most bearish close, but we did get, that spike. So definitely something to monitor. As we move on to this next month, we want to be paying attention to that previous month's close now, which is the 50.67. It's going to be a very key area of staying below it. Definitely becomes a little bit more bearish and could start to bring a little bit of pressure onto the market. And should we break the previous month's low of 49.91 quarter, that would put us into a one time framing to the downside on the monthly time frame. So it'd be something definitely want to be aware of when it happens. So if you have to set some alerts, or if you flip back through the charts periodically, just make sure you're paying attention to that. Switching over to the weekly, you can see we are still inside this range from 415. We have traded above the previous week's range, ending the one time framing to the downside, right? Cessation of one time framing. We've since reversed, about 3 days left in the week, so still anything can happen. We could continue up, we could continue down, right? Anything can happen. We're definitely leaning downside, but nothing really kind of confirmed yet. Mostly the weekly is looking like a balance. On the daily, we were one time framing higher. We got a cessation of one time framing yesterday and put in a -4 bar here. So indicating that the momentum has shifted to the downside. That level, 50.67, the close from yesterday, -4 close, right? If we stay below that, you definitely just want to stay short for the entire session. Or are we going to stay below that all day today? So hard to tell. So much news coming out. And we have the Fed as well. So there's a lot of volatility kicking in the market, right? Like I said earlier, I'm really just looking to stay nimble here and manage risk, especially going into the news. I don't think anybody knows what the news is going to be, and even if they did, trading it really is just more getting lucky than anything. As far as on a day time frame basis. Now, short or longer, a little bit longer time frame, the market could go like this today, right? Could clear these lows and these highs, and we could end the market here, right? And if you're a longer term player, well, really it doesn't affect you much. But if you're a day trader, it can really kind of press on your blood pressure if you're trying to trade that. Switching over here to the profile. Now we can see a little bit of review from yesterday, right? We can see that double distribution look into the spike of yesterday. So we had a little upper distribution, some longs got stuck. We kind of bounced around. Basically, as soon as we got below that 14 level, the market started to dump, tried to do a little recoup, then dumped. We filled this gap, which is what we were looking for. And I was actually looking for 85 yesterday, got, all the way down to the low of, what was the low? Was like 65, maybe. Let me see exactly what that low was. Let's see what it says on here. 54 quarter. So that low was actually 54 quarter. So it's kind of an interesting why this profile is not showing that. I think just because of where it happened right at the end of the day. Yeah, so it's kind of aggregating that. Yeah, anyways. I've got overnight inventory. It closes 50.67. Overnight inventory 100% net short. We have, we've got, what do we got over here? We've got Final fit manufacturing PMI comes out 945. Then 10, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI, the JOLTS job openings, ISM manufacturing prices, construction spending, Ward's vehicle sales. 10:30 is crude oil inventories, and then 2 p.m. we're going to get the statement. 2:30 going to get the press conference with the rate decision, right? Whether we're going to raise, lower, or stay the same. So as far as today goes, right, this is something that we talked about yesterday. We're breaking back down into this balance, and for me, that's really right. We kind of had this look above, and this is kind of the low of balance. I guess I could draw a better square here. So I'm pretty much using the points of controls to define balance, right? And so we have this upper balance, right? Try to look above. It looks like a fail. We pretty much traded close to or very close to the low of this balance. The real key, I still think, is this 50.03 level, right? We failed to test that -4 settle, indicating that some sellers had been off sides since we had moved up and now moved back down, and you can see they tried to move back down one time. Too many sellers were stuck, more sellers got stuck, the market popped up. So it is going to be a key today. It's a very detrimental zone or very important zone for sellers, basically from this 55 and below. Are they going to get on their horse and actually sell this market? And if they are serious, then we should see that 50.03 test of that 50.03 kind of unlocks a lot of these other stuck shorts, kind of confirms old inventory or old business has been taken care of, and then we can start to focus on lower levels, which in reality, we don't have any that are recent. So we're just kind of pay attention to the market as it goes. Should that not happen, right, or should the sellers not be able to come down there and kind of unleash that, and we start to get accepted above that 51.15, I think, right, kind of just opens the door back up of that 52.06, 52.11 area, especially above that 51.70. But then that 51.37, that's the COT VPOC level that we're definitely going to want to be paying attention to, should we not catch some downside, right? We should see some resistance in the spike. We ended on a spike yesterday, so we'll be using that as a resistance point or just kind of an area to be cautiously short. Above that, we probably get into chop if we get back into this middle distribution, back inside the gap. So not a lot of people have had the ability to trade that recently, so there's going to be a lot of people that are basically, they've missed out on the short yesterday, and so they're going to start getting short. And then a lot of people momentum trading, because if we get up there, obviously there's going to, especially depending upon the time frame, momentum is going to be kind of kicking off to the upside. So there'll be a lot of momentum traders up there as well. I'm more looking for that 51.15, right, for confirmation to get long. I'd rather kind of stay out of that chop zone and take the 51.15 to the 51.37. A little bit easier of a trade, I think, than trying to pick a direction in here, because I think it's most likely going to be choppy. Now, if you get a great fill and can manage risk well, obviously definitely try to play your edge, but just understand kind of where you're executing the trade. Overnight inventory is 100% net short. We're basically at the point of control, so not really anything crazy. Watch the settle, right? We finished -4, so below the settle, we definitely kind of have that short bias. Point of control, or overnight, is right off the previous point of control. We've seen this before, right? Just a couple days ago on the 26th, overnight inventory basically stayed on the point of control, or stayed off the point of control. We ended up getting that test back down into liquidity. So when we have something weak like that, I assume that they like to test it. And so a key thing, I think, will be, should they break that overnight and not break this low here and trade back into the overnight above this point of control, there may be a cautious long up there, back towards the settle, where more sellers most likely waiting. A lot higher risk taking something like that though. But if you get the right confirmations and it sets up, don't be afraid to pull the trigger. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.